Imagine this, floating in the cold, murky water, your feet strapped to a board and your hands holding tightly onto a tow rope. Your heart is pounding from the cold water, but suddenly the adrenaline kicks in as you begin to glide across the open water. This rush of adrenaline comes from a popular water sport known as wakeboarding. Wakeboarding is a sport that uses the wake created by a moving boat in order to surf. So essentially, it's like you're surfing in an ocean with a big surfboard, except you're only being towed behind a boat and your feet are actually strapped to a board. Pretty much anyone can wakeboard so long as you have good balance and are able to hold onto a tow rope for a short amount of time. There are a few simple steps today that I'll go over to teach you guys the beginning steps in order to learn how to wakeboard. First though, I need to tell you about the equipment needed for wakeboarding. While wakeboarding is a pretty simple and straightforward water sport, there are a few pieces of equipment that you do need that are important in order to learn the basics. First, you need an open water, preferably an open lake. That way you have enough room to wakeboard, and in case you fall, you're not going to run into another boat or anything. Along with this, you're going to need a wakeboard and wake boots. The wakeboard, obviously, is what you need to surf on the water. The wake boots attach to the wakeboard and keep your feet locked down on the board so you're able to stay on top. Along with this, you're going to need a tow rope, a boat with someone to drive it, a life jacket. With the tow rope though, I recommend using a rope around 20 to 25 feet in length rather than the usual 30 to 40 feet. This will allow you to stay closer to the tow rope and keep a tighter grip while also staying in a shorter wake that's easy for you to surf as a beginner. Next, let me tell you about the basic process of wakeboarding. Once you have all the equipment you need, wakeboarding is pretty simple from there. There's a few starting positions that you need to learn that I'll go over now. The first step of wakeboarding is when you're in the water, is to learn the starting position for getting up in the water. You need to practice this on land or in the open water, or even both if you really want to get comfortable with it. The starting position is with your hands out in front of you holding onto the tow rope with both hands so you don't lose your grip on them. Your knees are going to be bent towards your chest or at least a little bit close to them, and the wakeboard's going to be sitting at or above the water level. Lay on your back and just get ready and comfortable. I'm going to show you this video right here, the basic process of getting up and out of the water first.
Your knees, grasping the tow line handle and your board perpendicular to the back of the boat. Step 2. Rock forward on top of the board once the boat idles and begins to pull you. Keep your arms extended and let the boat pull you up. As you're coming up on the top of the water with your weight forward, keep your toes up and heels down. Step 3. Allow the board, still perpendicular, to plane on top of the water. You'll notice this when your board begins to move smoother on the water. Do not stand up too early before the board is planing, because your face will be in the water. Step 4. Stand up and shift your lead foot, usually your left foot, forward. Turn your front hip to the handle to get into a straight riding position. You're off.
And so that's essentially the basics to learning how to wakeboard. Now I'm going to go over a little bit more in depth on what the positions are and how you should be actually starting. So in this picture, you're going to see all the equipment that you need. You're going to see he's wearing a life jacket. The helmet is optional if you really do want it, just to be a little extra safer. You're going to see he's holding onto the tow rope with both hands. He's got his feet locked into the wake boots on the wakeboard, and he's in the starting position. You'll see that he's laying on his back with his knees bent close to his chest. The tow rope is straight out in his arms, and the wakeboard is at or above the water level. From this, once you're comfortable with it, you're ready to begin wakeboarding. When you're ready to begin, you're going to signal to the driver. Preferably the driver that you have is experienced with wakeboarding and knows how to start, so you're not going off too fast. The driver should ideally start slower and build up speed over time. When you signal the driver, most experienced wakeboarders usually hold on to the wakeboard rope with one hand, raise their hand to the other to signal the driver that they're ready to go. Since you're a beginner, however, instead you're just going to hold on with both hands and just shake the rope till the driver notices and you're ready to take off. Once he starts off slowly, you're going to maintain a relaxed position while keeping your knees close to your chest and the arms out in front of you holding onto the rope. This will allow you to start gaining speed, and you're going to go into a crouch position from where you're laying on your back. Maintain this crouch position for as long as you can until you start gaining enough speed where you feel comfortable enough to go into the standing position. The standing position is a really important part of it because that's where most of the fun happens. Since you're a beginner, you're going to go slow with this. Don't do a whole lot at a time. I really suggest don't move around a lot when you're on the wakeboard for the first time until you get more comfortable with standing up and keeping your balance. Balance is a crucial part of this. As you can see in this diagram here, you're going to see that she has her lead foot forward. You're going to hold the tow rope off to the side of her, in front of her. and our eyes are facing forward. The eyes facing forward is a really important part of this whole process, as if they're not facing forward and you're looking around a lot, or you're kind of moving around a lot, especially with your upper body, you have a chance to lose your balance and fall on your face. That's not always fun. From this, once you get more comfortable with wakeboarding and going in a straight line, or the boat moving around and turning a little bit more for you, you're able to move around yourself with the wakeboard. To move the wakeboard left and right, and maybe do a little more tricks to get closer and faster anywhere you want to go, you're going to move your feet either forward or backward, even throw your hips into it a little bit, just so you can move a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Always start out slow since you're a beginner, and don't go rushing everything just so you don't hurt yourself. From here, once you're ready to start slowing down, you're going to signal the driver again. Usually the best way to do this is to shout a little bit, or just shout slow down or you're done. You're going to start, and your goal is to get back in the same position as you started. The driver's going to slowly slow the boat down, and you're going to slowly relax more and more back into that crouch position, all the way until you end back up in that water. And then you're done wakeboarding. From here, there's only a few things you really need to remember. One, make sure you have all the equipment that you need, especially a life jacket, the wakeboard, the tow rope, and the wake boots, and a boat, obviously. Also, make sure you're staying relaxed and safe, and always remember, have fun. Thank you.